draft pretty quick.
Radiant team ban.
Yeah, tell it's such a different lag than because I get lag to the Chinese servers every now and then, where like I just have to kind of wait it out for like a couple minutes or so. Because if I don't wait it out and I try to reload into the server, sometimes I can't reload in.
VG Gaming's turn
and then people
to
in
ban.
chat are just like, restart your Dota. Like,
Well,
how it
all our
works.
player pings are
Radiant
super
team
low, so
back.
hopefully that's a good sign.
Hopefully, good.
VG Gaming's turn to ban. Radiant team ban.
Been seeing a lot of Oracle band like first.
Yeah, I think I thought the nerfs were pretty.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. VG Gaming's turn to ban.
I'm gonna start at the first pick.
Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. VG Gaming's turn to
League's assassin.
All right, and welcome. Day 2 of the Chinese qualifiers for the MDL Disneyland Paris Major. As, it was a long day yesterday with the group stage, which ended with LGD, Keen Gaming, VG, and Newbie being the
5
top 4
seconds
teams. And moving on into this upper bracket, we'll see both matchups
VG
today.
Gaming's
We're
turn
here with the first
to
best of 3 between Keen Gaming and VG Gaming, with myself and Tsunami ready to go and ready to watch some Chinese Dota. Hopefully, lag free.
Chinese Dota, major champion Dota. Thank you very much. This is VG Gaming that we're talking about. This is not your run-of-the-mill. This is TI qualified VG Gaming
10
now.
seconds remaining.
Yeah, I was just looking back. They like haven't
5
stopped playing
seconds
Dota
remaining.
for like what, 2 months straight? Because they went to the minor, went to the major. Now they're straight into major qualifiers. They had to go through major and minor qualifiers for the previous event. Like, they just haven't stopped playing Dota. It's
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. I didn't think about how they would have got to go through both qualifiers also. So yeah, they did both qualifiers, both tournaments, not this one. And one can hope that they will make it through and they can finally get a little bit of a rest, because if they don't, then they will almost certainly go to the next minor qualifier. Even though they are
10 seconds
officially in
remaining.
TI based off of points, I imagine that
5 seconds
as a Chinese team, they usually have an extremely high work ethic whenever it comes to even their like in-house leagues and stuff like that. It seems like the teams are always pushing it to the limit in terms of the amount of Dota that they play. So this is right in their wheelhouse. And Keen Gaming also as well, showing up to the previous major, doing better than what I was expecting. You seem to have been an advocate for Keen for quite a while, so it seems that they were finally reaching the expectations that you had of them, being able to 2-0 Liquid, be in the upper bracket of Dream League, and then unfortunately did not get very far. They beat EG and then lost to Fnatic and then lost to Secret, I believe. But still, overall, for a team that had not had much major exposure, it was probably much better than what most people were expecting.
Yeah, King Gaming, I think they're finally starting to find their stride since the GGG days, back when they were Ehome Keen, I think, was around that time, or they might have just split from that org recently, but they're coming into their own, and their mid player is, to me, their best player. Yi is so smooth in how well he plays mid. I almost feel like I don't see him lose that lane. Like, he even gave Sumail a run for his money during the Dream League qualifier, or Dream League major, not even the qualifier, just the event in general. Like, they played out of their mind, and it got a little shaky yesterday, just in the group stage. I know that they went 5-4. Every series they played was to 3 games. So, you know, maybe working out the kinks, maybe working out what picks they want to go with. I know some of their drafts were very odd. They lost their first series to Royal Academy, but they're in the upper bracket, so things are going right so far. They're one best of 3 away from qualifying, but their opponent, like you said, is the minor and major champion, VG Gaming, qualified for TI.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh yeah, okay, so this is... Oh, right, so it's upper bracket, so both these guys will qualify, or the winner of this will qualify, they don't have to play another series. Okay, yeah, good point.
Yeah, you either win this or you play 3 more, like 2 more best of 3s, including this one.
Right.
Or not including this one. Because it like becomes a long road in that little bracket. It's because they have 3 slots, and I think it always is different. Like the Chinese region, the way they run their qualifier for events is always a little bit different than every other region.
Yeah.
But it's also those 3 slots that kind of make it a little difficult.
Yeah, Europe was in the same situation for this one. So I believe Secret and Liquid both got through in the upper bracket, and then I got to watch OG make it through in the lower bracket, beating out Alliance in their first best of 3, and then beating out Final Tribe in their second best of 3.
How did Alliance look? You've got a Madara there, right?
Yeah, it wasn't the best look. At least in game 1, I know that Alliance were like he went on Morphling, he went Midas into Morbid Mask into BOTs, and needless to say, OG are not fooled by that sort of late game extreme greed, and they shut out Alliance in like 25 minutes. Okay. And Ana is in top form. It seems like he didn't miss a beat, so it's the TI Championship squad, and they were definitely making a strong case for it in their lower bracket run.
Yeah, Ana is he's like, I don't feel like playing Dota for the next couple of months. I'll play Dota now, I'll qualify for TI, it's whatever. I'm coming in, it's fine. But
like a little casual 6-month vacation, you know?
Still working at a higher salary than most.
Exactly.
But the game in front of us, King Gaming versus Vici Gaming. We got Rubik, we've got Nyx Assassin, Enigma here for Vici. It's been a very popular pick, Enigma. And what we've been seeing with Enigmas too is not being so reliant on Black Hole. Going with like the Vlads and the Guardian Greaves, the Pipe, those auras, those sustaining items. Not really looking for what we'd see sometimes in the Blink BKB build.
Yeah, not so dependent on the ult, and also not so dependent on farm priority. I'm seeing Enigmas be more and more willing to get shoved down to either like a 4 or even in the OG series that I mentioned, even in the 5 position. I was surprised to see it, but it's something that works out if you have a specific lane partner that is compatible with it, because in theory, much as how the old Lich with Sacrifice was, you know, you could deny creep basically every single wave, and so it was a no-tail Enigma, and they won, not necessarily because of the no-tail Enigma, but it just goes to show that Enigma is not as dependent on big ultimates as he once was. It's more, you can work your way up to any of these various team items like Greaves, or Dominator, or Vlad's, and you can be valuable just in the sense that the enemy team can't really get into melee range of you.
Yeah, it's almost like instead of you're using that omnipresence of the Black Hole, and that's all you really need as Enigma. Yeah. You could be in the 5 spot, you could be okay. But it looks like he's going to be in the 3 with the Grimstroke and the Shadow Shaman. Shadow Shaman probably 4, Grimstroke 5. Not a bad combo, but Medusa, which I've been seeing banned quite a bit, picked up for King Gaming with Rubik and Nyx Assassin. So they've got locked down in those 2 supports. I believe the Nyx Assassin will be, might be in the 5 with Rubik in the 4. Unless they want to go the other way around.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm a little bit surprised that Keen are willing to show Medusa at this stage, because as I learned over the course of Dream, like, Paparazzi has like the final say in most situations in just how adept he is at the carry role. Keen are wise to it. They're banning out Juggernaut and Terrorblade, but still showing this matchup so early on may give Vici Gaming an opening to pick a more early game carry.
Monkey King.
And Medusa, Monkey King's definitely one of those.
Yeah, Monkey King is being banned a lot against Vici. They really do like this hero. They've got the mobility here. It's hard early. He can work with the Grimstroke as well as the Shadow Shaman. I like it here, and I've been seeing a lot of those early, fast-paced lineups be successful. When you're going high ground, sticking tier 3s, going for racks at 20 minutes in. Such a weird field of Dota.
Yeah, and Vici Gaming are definitely strong at that. Could go for a troll, maybe, to follow up, but I do think that they should go with continuing the theory of early push, especially with a Shaman and an Enigma. You have really solid push early on, and even though Shaman's kind of cooldown dependent, that's okay against a Medusa, because more often than not you're going to be able to pressure her without the usage of snakes, or serpent wards rather. Medusa is a mystic snake, so yeah, hopefully they get an early game carry for Paparazzi. As I'm assuming it's a mid Monkey King, but
to the Venomancer. Sure. Veno's been played in the one spot, the off lane. I haven't seen it mid yet through these qualifiers. It was played in the one spot by the Royal Academy team, as well as in the off lane by that same team. They played it a lot yesterday.
Yeah, I think they give it to 11 most of the time, but we'll see.
5 seconds remaining.
Could we be seeing, like, because he does play mid Rubik. Could we see Medusa safe lane, Venomancer off lane, and Rubik in the mid?
Dude, I'd be super hyped for that. I didn't know Yi does that, but if he does, then I would be super hyped. Mid Rubik is kind of fallen off, which I think is a shame. It's possible that teams may have just figured it out. It's not a very difficult hero to deal with. It's just more often than not during the draft you don't really consider it. But ever since teams started like showing that hand, I think enemy teams are more willing to be like, oh, okay, it might be a mid Rubik, so let's not, you know, have like a lot of burst damage or a lot of high damage spells that a Rubik can steal and make a mid Rubik very effective. And I think part of it is I would like to see Rubik show up as a response to Lena, because mid Lena is starting to make a slight resurgence with the buffs in 7.21D. So I am not willing to commit to it being a mid Rubik yet. Obviously Keen don't have 10th pick, so they're gonna have to reveal what it is first, but I would be hype.
Yeah, Vici assuming it might have been a mid Rubik because they banned the Abaddon, which has been in the 5 position quite a bit recently.
Yeah, that's true.
He played the mid Rubik yesterday. It was a loss to Royal Academy,
5 seconds
and
remaining.
he went 3-5 and 9. He had an okay early game. He was up against a Shadow Fiend mid.
Vici Gaming's
Oh yeah, that's great.
I speak for the trees.
Nature's Prophet.
No, so I guess it is mid Rubik.
Well, that could be. They could still throw the Nature's Prophet in the off lane. Chalice was playing it yesterday off lane for LGD, and then throw Veno safe lane Medusa mid. There's a lot of ways this lineup could go.
Yeah, I'm putting my money on offlane Veno just because I don't think I've seen Keen play it on anyone else other than 11. So that's what I'm leaning towards.
Alchemist.
With
An alchemist. Whoa! I've not seen that in the Chinese region for a while, and it's Kaka on the Rubik.
Wow. Okay. What a way to start this off.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this alchemist.
Yeah, some European teams are starting to put alchemist a little bit higher up. I am not convinced yet, but for Paparazzi, I see definitely being a good fit. It's just that it doesn't seem as early game focused as I was hoping. It all depends on how he chooses to build. But if he goes for like a Radiance oriented build, I'm not enthusiastic about it. I think it's kind of playing into Keen's hand. of picking this Medusa up
10
early.
seconds
But
remaining.
if he goes for like, I don't know, Solar Crest is like a dead item. I haven't really been paying
5
attention to how the
seconds
other
remaining.
teams have been building it, but hopefully it's more early mid-game focused than, you know, hard carry farming.
Yeah, I want to see how this, if they even still intend to play quick and fast, like the Alchemist with a mid Monkey King.
Mid Monkey
And-
against mid Venom.
Yeah, he is on the Veno and safely Medusa. Offlane Nature's Prophet.
I don't know if this was
So a
Keen's
little different.
plan. I mean, Dark Nyx is like the only thing, and Kaka Rubik, which feel is like absolute comfort for them, but I don't know about this mid Veno thing. Like you said, you haven't really seen too much of it.
Yeah, I actually saw it safe lane instead of mid. More than mid. It's interesting because Venomancer, I think the few times I've seen it in the side lanes, it's tri lane. And it does give you quite a bit of kill opportunity. Venomous Gale and Impale coming out, as well as Telekinesis or a Fade Bolt. Like, you can definitely get kills in that lane and play it pretty aggressively.
Yeah, and against a mid Monkey King, I don't really see. I imagine that Ori will be able to get Jingu stack. Veno's an extremely slow hero. You see 279
Prepare
move
for battle.
speed, and you see 354 for the Monkey King. Well, actually, he's under smoke, but his base is 305. So chances are he's always going to be able to get Jingu off, and he's going to be able to get Boundless Strike lifesteal afterwards with Jingu. So I find it unlikely that he's going to be able to get a lot of kills, or rather zone out the Monkey too effectively in the mid lane. So I'm curious why they went for this lane arrangement as opposed to like the Medusa mid, which also
Yeah.
would not be great, but why the Veno?
I definitely would have liked the Veno in the side lanes more. Like I said, if they tri-laned it, I think it could have been a little bit more. I would be a lot more optimistic about it. That's for
Right.
sure. We'll see. Ori
30 seconds
mid with
to
this
battle.
Monkey King DUI, and it looks like Paparazzi. This is always wonder like how, you know, with the vision you're trying to see what the matchups are going to be. They're always trying to get the right vision. Find out that who's going to what lane early enough. What's Paparazzi looking for? Because he's setting up mid at the moment.
I would think that well, Alchemist also has a fine time against Venom mid, so it doesn't really matter.
battle
It's
begins.
possible that, you know, Alchemist is a relatively low armor, and dealing with the Nature's Prophet would just be not worth it. So he wants to dodge that, and the Monkey King can pretty much lane wherever as top lane, and then fall down to this Nature's Prophet, who's rolling out the base with 4 branches of Lightstone, so it does seem like they're more interested in securing Alchemist farm mid, and Enigma just struggle.
You know, so he's not heavily reliant on getting that farm. Like they've been willing to put him in a 4 or 5 position, but right now he is in the 3 position being played by Yang. So we'll see how this lane kind of goes. They've got him top, Monkey King over bottom. Monkey King will be up against at least the Nyx so far. I think
on
they're
my
trying to
watch.
figure out the lane matchups. You want to put Chicken somewhere else? He's getting pretty fully harassed by the shot right now. Is he okay against this Monkey King? Okay being here, or are we going to see him TP top enough?
I don't think he has a choice. I think the groups are gonna follow him wherever he goes. Might as well go for this lane. It's relatively the safest lane. You could put the Medusa aside from mid, but dual mid is dead. So she's not enthusiastic about any situation. It's just the best of equal choices.
Do have trialing right now with Fade. He took Ether Shock. They took Stroke of Fate. Monkey King speaking at 50%. We'll see how he kind of reacts to this little chicken. He's afraid to move up a little bit. And I understand that. A lot of damage can come out pretty quickly from Zero, especially when Fade gets level 2 and you have Shackle to lock down this Medusa. How are you really going to make it through this and then this trial matchup? It's very difficult to make progress with this Medusa at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, minimum healing levels, but that's not. She's not like a terrible style hero that can easily transition into the jungle once you're like, oh, okay. You know, before I had a miserable laning phase, but at least now, Medusa is that kind of hero. So it's not going to get.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I don't really plan to help this Medusa out. I think Nyx is just kind of stuck here to an extent because he can't leave her completely alone, but I'm sure Dark wishes that he can help out alone. As in is sick by Fade, and he does have shackles.
Yeah, he'll go over towards D and he'll bring over Ether Shock come through. There's the shackle. Telekinesis lifting him up and throwing him down and stop the shackle, but still the acid spray and gets killed, but they get paparazzi E coming out ahead on that gank.
Yeah, it's both. At least the shaman was there for the experience at the minimum, so it's not like a complete sacrifice. And first, it was already spilled by the Enigma top lane, so not the biggest setback. Really, it's just unfortunate timing for the Alchemist that the Rubik showed up. Also, I think Fade spent a little bit too much time waiting for his shackles. The Venomancer was able to walk out of the spray and not take armor reduction, and Venom had died a little bit sooner to shackle underneath the acid spray, but at the minimum, at least they go.
Do you think he was a little bit shocked by maybe the
yeah, I think the Rubik showing up and he was just like, oh god, now what do I do? And the shackles would have gotten cancelled immediately anyway. You saw how quick Kako was to use the telekinesis, but you know, you saw how close he was to also getting kill first.
It was one shot away for both sides, and he's the one who comes out ahead. So he's sitting up, he's got one venom, two poison sting. Would make this lane a little bit hard for the Alchemist, and we already see Paparazzi backing off into the jungle above the secret shot, using that acid spray to confirm.
Yeah, all the way back and forth. Whenever the, I think typically what most stocks end up doing is, yeah, what most stocks end up doing is they'll come back to the lane whenever it comes underneath their tower, they'll plop down and acid spray, drive back, and then keep transitioning back and forth within the jungle.
Aka in trouble top, but Yang is taking more abuse than Kaka. Kaka was able to shift over to the other side of the lane. When Yang got sprouted up, it was a little bit of panic coming in. He only got one angle left, so the regen is light, but is sending. He's got a soul ring coming over top.
I love how aggressive he is with his denies. Team denies. He's not been letting it get to the Alchemist side of the jungle. I mean, the side of the river. And now top.
Oh, DY. Oh, tries to TP away, but Dark's the VM down. And he'll get the kill. Take a look over top. Fade one more shot until he goes down. He's trying to get into the tree. That's TP.
Where's the scan at?
Radiant are scanning.
And the scan there, but he's too far away at this point. Just a little too late from old 11. It's on the Grimstroke, so that was nice, especially with Dark coming over to land that in to stop that TP. Continuing to progress for you.
I'm surprised that you weren't more aggressive with these barrier fights. Missed on your team, I nail for every single bounty available, but it's just two apiece, and Yang again. Just getting locked in with his Rubik as well as old 11, able to sprout him, and well, he doesn't have any way to get out of these trees. He's actually under a stack of tangos.
No, you don't.
Yeah, no points in Midnight Pulse. Not that he would have preferred either, I think. And 11 dude hits treads, and Bloodstone, he has 84 damage right now.
Yeah, they've got UI Fade. Prompt Ring was used. Ori going in onto Nick. Dark will die. Broken over the Medusa, that's so hard to get despite having heroes over bottom. So Ori takes a little bit of a consolation prize in the Nyx Assassin. Kills a kill and grabbing a decent chunk of gold. Look at this push coming out mid too. Old 11 as well as he using these plague wards, having these treants pushing in. Nobody really defending. DY goes through with the stroke of fate, but that's all they're willing to commit to this tier 1 tower, and now even that might be a little bit too much. DY being still on top of him, not getting too close. Venom and to the tower and over the Venomous Gale. As the Blade Ward 2 didn't, and there's Paparazzi with it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Alchemist doesn't get gold for that. That's what I want to know.
A percentage of the death gold.
Yeah. I mean, Greevil's great. Knowing the spaghetti code of this game, every once in a while you'd expect that to happen. Although, Venom's need to start getting more points in Play Wars because those give Greevil's greed. And with only 1 point in them, he's just going to be feeding it away to Paparazzi. Who may actually
comes
go
out,
aggressive.
Shackle. Easy double, makes the rotation, the ult spilled out, bought his Venomancer, but it won't matter. They'll get the kill. Ori gets credit for it, taking out Yi for the second time this game. They've got good ward vision inside this area for King Gaming. They see this little shrine there, they see where Paparazzi's trying to farm.
Yeah, Kaka's been pretty good with it. You also see the ward that he placed in jungle as well. That was far earlier on. Although they're not really contesting with it, so it may have been a little bit too early. Usually you see the wards for... If they saw a bunch of stuff and like, okay, now I'm gonna show. But if they did a bunch of single camps and they're like, whatever, it's not worth contesting it. So it's more just something that they can do to keep track of where the alchemist is.
Old 11. Down from the tree. They've got Dark nearby, 2 rotating over. Kaka out of invis, but he misses the impale, so Ori has to be careful. But Yang's here. Ori upping that Fukang's command, and he's got 3 in the Jingu. Balance Trump comes out, and they'll get the kill on Old 11, making the rotation over his DY2, who's trying to use this ink swell to find a stun, but backs off from the impale. The black hole comes out on 2 with no way to stop it. It's just not available to get the kill. You look over at Dark. Yang doing a lot of damage with these Eidolons, and they make it out 2-1, losing Ori. Unfortunately, he's kind of locked in over on the left side by the side chopping those trees. Made it very difficult for him to find any movement into an escape, but Impale comes in. Old 11's made the TP over towards top tower. He's idling through, and Eidolon's doing enough damage to get the kill in the dark. They've got the Shackle. Eidolon's again. Yang from the grave. He's got a double kill. And Ori looking for more. Let's ring on top of Old 11. The Jiggy will pop. Damage is heavy. I'm not sure it's going to be enough. Venomancer, Venomous Gale thrown at Ori. Now the chase is going the opposite direction. They've got this Sprout, and Ori regrets everything. This loses his life to the Venomancer. Yeah,
after taking that mid tower, Venom has nothing better to do than just go to the sidelines. So he shows up top after getting kicked to mid and having to send that Venomous Gale, but he doesn't necessarily need the Venomous Gale. This Nature's Prophet is giving so much damage, and Wrath of Nature plus Poison Nova, in theory you can win a fight without even having to show up for it. So now DY trying to defend this, but there are way too many keen heroes here.
After the stroke of 50, he regrets it immediately. The Impel comes in, Dark gets the kill. And they were close to killing the Dire Courier too. It looks like they'll be able to take a one tower. DY tries to stop it for a split second and immediately dies.
Both teams
probably give it up.
Extremely interested in protecting the #1 farmer. Medusa is given an ocean of space, and she's taking advantage of it, just constantly circling throughout her jungle. And Alchemist as well, who is working his way to the right, so it does look like he wants to basically go toe with Medusa in terms of becoming a late game carry.
Still level 3 in the, or level 4 in the acid spray. Boost in farm Rubik.
They all head up top.
Middle tower is under attack.
There towards the tier 2. Would have liked to get that level 6 on Grimstroke. He did buy out his knowledge. Didn't even get it. Because Old 11 coming in with Kaka the acid spray. Sprout will miss. DY back towards the stairs, but he slips him up, throws him back, and flag that will be thrown by Ori. Old 11 so low, but still surviving and TPing out. Or yeah, he does not have the balanced strike. It's on cooldown.
Well, at the minimum, DY does survive. Although they didn't get the push out of it. I'm pretty sure Paparazzi's TV was on cooldown, otherwise he would have shut up earlier. but Paparazzi is really the best anti-push that they have. Fade only has 2 points in either Shaman, so he's not really that great at discouraging these pushes. And Shaman in general, like, you have to deal with these treants, to deal with Plague Wars. So Q Gaming's push is just incredibly strong if the Alchemist isn't there to discourage it. So maybe a little bit too overzealous trying to kill the Grim Stroke instead of pushing the tier 2. But at least they get out without any casualties.
And they skip over G1. Yeah, because they see where they've got nature with telekinesis locking him in. And there's more Radiant heroes in this dire jungle than the dire team. And
there's more Radiant vision in this dire jungle than what Dire have.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
One ward, and that's about it. Fade moves forward, but we've seen this not be too healthy when they move in to try and defend.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
VG still has the Radiance comes online soon. Paparazzi is getting quite close. He's about 500 gold away. But map is getting smaller and smaller.
And they kind of have to hope that Radiance is being a difference maker too.
Yeah, and it's kind of tricky also because once he has it, Dark, I mean, he's gonna max out Carapace just like every other Nexus assassin these days. If they get set up on the Alchemist, manage to catch him without a Chemical Rage, or even with it, because I believe half a Spirit Vessel has been down. He's gonna go down.
Getting hit by his own balanced strike that has control of right now, and that is just disgusting. Throw the balanced strike, telekinesis.
Spirit Vessel completed, so even if they do, like, even if they find an Alchemist underneath Chemical Rage, he's not going to be that survivable. So Q Gaming playing all the right cards right now.
This push has been 4 heroes from Q Gaming too. Gold Chicken's just happy. It's like, oh, I've got all this space. Like you said, an ocean of space. Nobody's coming down. It's a vacation. It's just the right-click challenge. That's it. Nobody's really contesting him.
Yeah, it almost feels that Paparazzi would be safer forming the enemy jungle than his own jungle. Because pretty much Keen has just lived on the dire side of the map for the past 5 minutes or so. He does have his Radiance completed on the Alchemist now, although it looks like Medusa is finally, conveniently enough, the rest of Keen have pushed her lane, so she's like, alright, you know, I got Stone Gaze, and the Radiance does proc the Carapace.
No, and he's immediately hit by the Mystic Stake. There's the Stone Gaze, Soulbind comes in, the from the Venomancer, Yang has to turn around, DY low as well. Her vessel is played.
That should help. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
This'll come in handy.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
You do not have the best high ground defense. Again, it's all reliant on this Alchemist. And still, I mean, Yi is getting more and more points in this Plague Wars. Even between that, even just the Acid Spray itself is not going to be enough with the Radiance. But he's stalling. I imagine that Keen probably aren't going to wish to push high ground until they get a Roche. And I don't think that they have a medallion on anyone, so VG still have time, but the clock is ticking.
Yeah, it's been very rough. Everywhere they try to farm, they're just constant pickoffs.
Off Paparazzi, and they do.
They bring an old 11 with it. They've got the Impale, 4 heroes here. Another easy kill for Q Gaming. It was Radiant in the right call.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying at the beginning of the game. Like, I hope he doesn't go for a farm heavy build. And it wasn't even necessarily just the Nexus assassin. It was, hey, I saw the game this quickly against VG, and don't have the best ways of stopping it. And by the time that Alchemist does manage to get, you know, some amount of farm, he hasn't got nearly as much space as Medusa has. Now DY managed to expose trouble, but these tower pushes are just going to keep coming. It's only one more outer tower remaining after this bot tier 2 goes down. And
Radiant's
King has to escape at the top lane.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Just one tree away. He was almost taken out of the skies. It just seems like there's gonna be so much time needed for Vici to, well, any chance of coming back. They're going to use on the Monkey King, and it'll be Mantis style next for the Alchemist.
Well, let's go for that assassin creeping in the. Yeah, it's not a great ward though. It's, you know, you caught up an Nyx assassin, but this T2 is probably going to go down as Shaman TP's in plain sight. Ori almost alone. He does get spotted out. Big ward, but let's down. Gang completely hemmed in.
Yeah, what does he do? There's just no way that Ori find an entry point here. They've already got Yang. If Ori thinks about going in, he's dead. He'll try to run away, but here comes the Nature's Prophet. 11's in. Wukong command is started, but the silence is there. The Fable comes through, and very easily King Gaming are taking the fights without the Medusa.
They can push high ground. Rubik managed to steal level 4 Eidolons, so you've got Eidolons, Treants, and Lords, and they're pushing high ground.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Minutes into the game, they're pushing high ground. Top Rocket comes over. The Serpent Wards are placed with the shackles onto this Venomancer. They get hold of 11 low, but well, they just don't have the damage to finish them off.
Those are the most depressing Serpent Wards. It's not near any objective. It doesn't get any kill. The trap isn't even successful. But I'm glad that it came back up. I really do think that they should, you know, wait for the Aegis. I think that are powerful enough to take it. You just post some play boards, trees can tank it. It does waste a little bit, but I don't think it's necessarily a waste to get Aegis to get this close to pushing high ground. Last outer tower that's getting sieged. There isn't much left.
Yang in trouble. Venomous scale, telekinesis in pale. He's still alive for. They've got Fukong as well as Hex. The shackles from Fade walking in dark. They'll get themselves a loop to one. They look for Yi, looking from the Radiance to do enough damage to pop Rocket bound. Strike gets up Rubik. Kaka, the skill one dead on Gaming, but they lock in Ori with the Sprout. Don't have enough damage to finish him off, and nobody dead from Vici for seemingly the first time in an exchange.
Yeah, they spend the Shrine, and Alchemist got very, very close to death. Unfortunately, I don't think Yi was close enough to Spirit Vessel, or maybe he was out of charges. But 11 managed to silence the Alchemist while he was channeling that unstable concoction, so ended up self-detonating, and he was so close to dying, but just narrowly managed to escape.
Still up 6,000 net worth. That's how you know it's going well against an Alchemist lineup. Usually, what the rule of thumb is like, if you're down 4,000 or 5,000 against an Alchemist, things are okay. But when you're up, now 8,000 net worth against an Alchemist,
all 4 boundaries go the way of an Alchemist. You have to be furious. You have to be absolutely seething whenever you have that happen. Smoke up, Ori. Gonna run into this Vici smoke.
Telekinesis comes down. They're going to set an impact. Bounce comes out of a free and throw the top 10 twice. Now, in the back on his Rubik. And assassin, they've got the shotgun lined up. They've got old 11 as well as Clark. And a quick 1, 2, 3 come in there from Vici. So the fights are looking better, and they are ferociously coming back.
Yeah, Yang was expertly positioned there. He was waiting in the trees, looking for his opportunity. He's really lucky that a carapace didn't come out, though, because Nyx Assassin didn't carapace the boundless strike from the Monkey King, and he was holding on to it. I don't know what spell he was necessarily waiting for, but usually whenever you're about to start a team fight, you just pop it, and like someone's gonna get stunned. And if he had managed to stun out the black hole, then disaster for Vici, but getting it, and he just probably getting a little bit too hot with his teleportations, and they find DY in the top lane.
Can they kill him? Old 11 TP's in, but then stands still for a split second. So Inkswell though, that'll definitely help. That is a good one to take, especially with Nyx Assassin, who could just use Vendetta and then run up an Inkswell.
Is under attack.
Still not really moving towards road, or is pushing bot and getting a little bit too hasty.
And he's way too comfortable in that bottom lane, and they get the deny. So all that work for space. Yang, though, playing the cooldown game, just doesn't have, you know, he doesn't have green greaves or anything. He's got the pipe, he's got Helm of the Dominator, but at the moment it seems like Yang is desperately needing a black hole to turn these fights around.
Yeah. Hopefully he'll hit this level 15 talent. He hasn't gone for Midas, so he's gonna take GPM talent. And that may help him be a more relevant force, but G Gaming exclusively relying on these black holes is not gonna get them, you know, into the late game. Alchemist and Monkey King need to start being able to initiate these fights because Enigma's... Oh, actually he does have a Blink Dagger queued up. Okay. That's
scanning.
Optimistic, but it could work out. I thought he would go for BKB first, but for the Blink Dagger, and now Keen will start Roche.
Now they're inside the Roche pit.
Diver
still on cooldown. 26 seconds until that comes back up, and the smoke will be broken as Dark's popping the sick carapace. Pulls the impact. So he comes out. The Sun's trying to finally get themselves one second, or trying to get away, but well, man, can't get himself far enough away from the arrows that are flying from Old Chicken's bow. We get 2 kills. DUI buys back immediately. Spirit off the Yang there. The Impale starts on as well as the Hex. Inks, well, will it pop in time? It's the big beat on Paparazzi, so he's okay anyway. Soulbind onto the Nip. And it will finally attach to Kaka as they take out Dark to your King Gaming.
Alchemist not having to spend his BKB on the first half of that fight was crucial to turning that around. And I don't think King Gaming expected it. I thought they were like, oh, okay, we've clearly won the first half of the fight. Now, Grimstork had to buy back, Monkey King had to buy back, because now they do find Old 11, and his BKB is down on the Prophet, so he gets hexed instead by Kaka.
He buys back, and
DY doesn't cut the right tree. Oh,
can't get out, and Anis is thrown back, but the shackle from the low ground onto this thing. Oh god, it gets thing like a truck. The sun comes out, kill them. Paparazzi might have eject. They've got the X onto the Monkey to get the kill. Dead for 46, has buyback. Spike Carapace trying to catch up to Paparazzi. Dark comes in into the block. Oh! This is huge because they get killed and a Prophet, he just caught back. And the force FB trying to get away with it. Paparazzi. Shackle on a Medusa. And the Venomous Gale will pick up Fade, throw him down. Shadow Shaman in a lot of trouble. He'll end up dying.
Prophet managed to get out. He got to be TP back to base. TP up available again, but he's just gonna go for runes.
That should help.
So at the end of the day, it was a buyback on the Nyx Assassin and Nature's 2 bucks, but 3 buybacks for VT is the Enigma, the Monkey King, and the Shaman all back. And Grimstork buyback earlier and died back, so huge net worth loss for him. He just cruised downwards. He had a Blink Dagger in his back by, and now so far away from it. So overall, victory for him.
Cool to use that. Will be on cooldown for a while. A little wet in balance. Fade behind him, serpent towards you. There's a shackle. The midnight pull is slowing down and overhitting away. And he end up getting killed an old one who had back previously, now dead for 75 seconds.
Yeah, this kind of gives Beach an opening to challenge his Roach now as Monkey King. He at least sees what's going on. He can do it, he can see the Roach's HP, and he's getting good for this unstable concoction.
Oh, but the Impale on the trees. The black hole is... Yeah, okay.
Right, though.
Now the Soulbind comes, but lifting up DY, he'll be once again for 43 seconds. The BKB is going to be popped by Paparazzi. They've got the tackle and then hooking with the Wukong to strike with it. Ocean trying to run away in low mana, but not a big deal. Soulbind to Ori as well as Paparazzi, and now Paparazzi with spirits on him will just be chased down by King Gaming and taken out.
Rubik's a kid in a candy store right now, even though he did completely whip that black hole. He was hoping to like edge the Monkey King and be able to like send him back into the pit, I guess is what the plan is, because he knew that there was no way that they could have had vision for that unstable concoction to land in Medusa unless the Monkey King was on a nearby tree looking at it. So he guessed it was this tree. It was really this tree. And now he has parked himself on the exact same one again.
Definitely.
He gets out.
Risky maneuver.
Nyx doesn't get him. Nyx actually has no idea where the Monkey King is. They're just randomly shooting at trees, but they will be able to take this Roche flat away.
Top tower is under attack.
Monkey trying to force himself to victories. Actually, you just need to put up a ward to see if you can find the Monkey King.
Radiant's top tower
Time's a charm. They finally get the Aegis. That's on an old chicken who I don't even know if he really needs the Aegis. Hasn't died yet. 5-0 and 6.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's
doing well, but he's leaving fights with his stone gaze as opposed to entering fights with the stone gaze. So
yeah,
this maybe allows him a little bit more to play around. And now he has the Scotty. He's working his way to that butterfly. Bolting is being only 1.5k net worth behind an alchemist is a great look for a Medusa at 27 minutes.
Dire are scanning.
And for Paparazzi, his radiance off half the time because it's
kind of learned his lesson, and look at the spread between these VG here. I know it's an alchemist, but it's quite a far spread here. Almost 10,000 between alchemist and the Enigma. Or he's only at 9,000 net worth. We'll get the surfing wards down as well as the heck. The Findage from the weapon drops to Yang. Very well done there by VG.
They're trying to make adequate space to make sure this H ends up. So Old Chicken has to end up going bot to slow down that push, and or someone else comes top, slow down that push. I think to stall before they lose high ground.
Darkwood's coming. He was looking for a great team back to base. As Rubik stacks 600. Wow. To go away. Didn't blink dagger.
Even that intent on like buffing the black hole or there's so many good spells for him. Unstable concoction, even the spray, being able to steal chemical rage, turn it on and then steal something else like 2 seconds afterwards. Obviously the black hole does get buffed up.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
All of Fade's spells are pretty much fantastic for a Rubik.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Even without that axe and stealing spells pretty consistently, the ones he needed, he had got Soulbind, got Black Hole, despite it being a whipped Black Hole. He tried.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So now towards the high ground, Venom now gets thrown. I'm not sure Paparazzi got hit. He's out of mana right
Radiant's
now.
top tower is under attack.
Really could use some mana to do something. Throws the stun at this Medusa or over bottom.
The seeds of fortune.
Yeah, between Stroke of Fate and Ether Shock and Acid Spray and Midnight Pulse, it's easy to get a creep wave up to the high ground. They spent a glyph offensively to get that first wave up there, but was only able to bring down the tier 3 tower to like half HP. I mean, or let's get the nature's
spotted old 11, and he might be able to help cover there and being quickly enough over trying to.
That means that 2 years are missing with the Radiance proc again, getting a
Paparazzi. Spirit Vest on top of him. He has to get the BKB off. And now on the side, this Enigma in a lot of trouble, has Black, but he's not going to just turn around and throw it. He'll end up dying dead for 8. He doesn't have buyback. He not had 2 years at the fight initially, but still 2 years on the side of Vici. And this high siege just got that much easier.
Power of Prophet. We stop the split push in one lane 1 second and then show up to a team fight the next. They will take the mid racks, they will move on to the bot racks. And this Enigma's dead for a whole minute, and he doesn't even have back available. It's on the cooldown even if he had the money for it, which he does have the money for it, but it's not happening because they're killing dominated creeps. They're not even worried about the racks.
Dire's bottom barracks has fallen.
Keen. Please stop really risking their life time after time.
This is what immensely amuses me about international power rankings of China. Gaming are the main winners, and Keen Gaming, well, they did fairly.
5 seconds
It
remaining. Dire
was,
team back.
very smooth. I was happy. I lagged whenever the Wukong's command was thrown, but that was about
that's
it.
good. Did you ever put the right command in your console?
The one that makes it so you don't lag when you tab out.
No, there's like a command that if you do like rate 200,000 or something like that, then you lag less with
Do I just
10 seconds.
slash rate 200,000?
We find JJ's.
VG Gaming's turn to ban. Dire team back.
Well, I can't find JJ's tweet, but this is what source?
Ten seconds remaining. 5
Don't
seconds
blow up my
remaining.
computer. Enter. Okay. It doesn't say anything. It just
Yeah, I won't say.
put it in.
VG
Yeah,
Gaming.
I know I was lagging when I was tabbing out every now and then to like look up stats and whatnot,
Do you use borderless window?
but that stopped. What's that?
If you use borderless window, it'll choke less.
I do.
Oh, okay.
VG Gaming's turn.
You ready?
VG
Yeah.
Dire team pick.
Oracle.
Okay, and welcome back, Vici Gaming, Keen Gaming, Game 2, as Keen Gaming went on to win the first game with relative ease in about 32 minutes. Going up against an Alchemist, they had a Medusa
10
that
seconds
worked
remaining.
with Nyx Assassin, Rubik, Nature's Prophet, and
5
Venomancer.
seconds remaining.
This time around, they pick up the Nyx Assassin again. They'll be up against the Shadow Shaman and the Oracle. They ban the Razor, Doom, Darkseer, Magnus, Disruptor, Revenge. I am joined here by the ever-lovely Tsunami, and we are ready for game number 2. A little bit of a surprise in King Gaming beating Vici, but we talked about it a little bit during the break. It's top team in China is a coin flip every qualifier. It seems like.
The divine game of
Dire
Mahjong
team
that
back.
randomly determines who is the best in any given week. And, you know, Vici Gaming still made it to the upper bracket. They're not, like, completely not showing up. But then on the other side of the coin, like Newbie, who has been trash for a very long time, is also kind of showing up. They're also in the upper bracket, and they will be facing up against LGD in the next series, so it's utterly random. And I think Southeast Asia is very
10
much the
seconds
same way.
remaining.
I think Europe and North America have like pretty solid anchor teams that will reliably
5
show up
seconds remaining.
at the top. South America too, but
VG Gaming's
Southeast Asia and
turn to
China
ban.
is always like very unpredictable. Southeast Asia usually has at least like 2 teams that will consistently be at the top, and then the third team is very random. China, it's like I am surprised at how poor LGD has been showing recently. I would have thought that they were going to break the mold, but didn't do that great at the major, and they are in the upper bracket of this qualifier, but
10
we'll see if they can
seconds.
snatch
Back.
that second slot as they go up against Newbie in the upcoming series.
Yeah, Newbie showing up pretty well. Mugi, Astral Sea, Alwyn, who was playing for Newbie, Mr. Game Boy, AC, and San Chang. Like, it's a different lineup for Newbie, and it's looking pretty strong.
Still got my boy
They're in the upper half.
SCCC though. I gotta see. I miss SCCC on main stage. Where's he
VG
been? Miss him on
Gaming's
LAN.
turn to ban.
Yeah, hopefully they can bring their talents over to Paris. You know, get joined by the Disneyland crew and come in and play some Dota. But for now, it's this game 2 with Medusa even earlier. Pick him up even earlier for King Gaming. It was what, 3rd pick last time?
Yeah.
Now it's 2nd pick this
10
time.
seconds remaining.
Showing their hand and banning the sniper
5
and the
seconds remaining.
anti-mage. Nature's Prophet gets taken away by Vici, as they probably don't want to be up against the same lineup that they lost to in the previous one. But they do have Oracle and Shadow Shaman, so more of a save oriented
VG
support in
Gaming's
the
turn
Oracle,
to team
and they ban the Jug and immediately go into Brewmaster, which is been picked up less and less in this region.
It's picked up less and less, but people still really like it against Medusa, just because the Drunken Haze is so incredibly effective against her. So I can see the value in it. The only thing is, again, they're kind of lacking in wave clear.
10 seconds
The
remaining.
Oracle and the Brewmaster are not great at it, and the Shaman, at least now, he wouldn't have to
5
deal with
seconds
Treants,
remaining.
and I would be skeptical if Keen go for a Venomancer yet again. So it may not be that big of a setback, but right now they are still lacking in what was ultimately their downfall in game 1, which was just a lack of being able to drive away pushes.
Yeah, you said it at the end of the last game. It seemed like King Gaming were more on the Dire side than the Dire themselves. And they just continued to push and push and push, and really Vici had no answer to that. They were hoping that Paparazzi could get some farm and carry 4 heroes on his back to victory. Unfortunately for him and the rest of Vici, that was just not the case.
Nope, the back was constantly spiked.
Yeah, the Radiance was just terrible, and Terrorblade comes in.
This is reliable. Paparazzi Terrorblade.
Good. Paparazzi plays a mean Terrorblade. Abaddon picked up for King Gaming. That should be in the 5 spot. I believe it's been played in every time it's been picked up so far in this regional qualifier.
Yeah.
And the Nyx Assassin 4.
5
pretty much
seconds remaining.
his claim to fame is spamming his entire mana pool and HP pool on Mist Coil, dying, coming back, doing it again. In the OG series that I cast, I think No-Tail got a high score of 6 kills on himself on Abaddon in the laning phase. So it is something that will most likely, because it is a little bit ridiculous. At the end of the day, you still have an Abaddon, which is not a very high tier hero, it seems these days. People aren't enthusiastic about the new Curse of Avernus passive. It's more just the Aphotic Shield and the Mist Coil that's having him be so useful. But the fact that he can just, you know, use his HP and mana as a free resource for the lane partner that he goes to lane with.
An Underlord picked up here for King Gaming. Saw it once yesterday. I believe it won. It was successful early, especially with, I think I saw it with an Nyx Assassin. I'm gonna have to check the previous games, but it had a lot of permanent damage from the Atrophy Aura early on, and it was just able to snowball with the rest of the team, and having the Abaddon, very tanky offlaner who does like picking up those aura items and those sustain items.
Yeah, and they have a lot of magic damage to be storm, snake, Aphotic Shield explosions. So this Terrorblade has his work cut out for him. On the flip side, though, picking up an Underlord also means that you give Terrorblade a really great reflection illusion, because you can create your own Atrophy Aura for a temporary period of time. So does have some downsides, but I like Underlord. I think he's really good. And I feel our item also, it's really irritating to get pitted and then rotted and then pitted again. It's infuriating.
Yeah, the Rod of Atos picked up on a couple of these heroes that have been more picked up in the meta. It's just like, what do you do? Being rooted and then it's so hard to get away from that.
It got nerfed ever so slightly, but I don't think Iceberg wants to nerf it too much, because some of the heroes who rely on it will then be useless. I know Skyriff got like a very slight buff in what I'm considering to be inextreme